Hello, everybody. My name is Verve, and welcome to August 22nd, 2022's episode of the Bullshit Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me, first one to die. Welcome first to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Verve. It's really great to be here. First off, I'd like to thank the cars that were able to bring me in. Those people were really nice. I think they got it was just the basic Uber, whatever they call that, the Uber Express or whatever. But you know what? It was really clean. It was really clean. The guy didn't speak English, but that was okay. He smiled a lot, and he waved, and it's great to be here. So, a rabbit person like yourself, what do you do here on this podcast?
Well, I'd like to point out there were no cars or anything like that. Well, we start off with the weekly gaming news, meaning anything that came out that is, in my opinion, worth note, that was either popular or, again, in my opinion, worth note between last Monday and this Monday. We're going to talk about that. And then once we're kind of like, quote-unquote, out of gaming news, which, by the way, I'll say again, use GameInformer.com for gaming news. I've been subscribed to their magazines for a long time until the internet was prevalent, and then I just went to their website. And then after we're out of gaming news, I typically move on to general, like, funny or weird world news. I typically stay away from the typical world news because, let's all be honest, in most media outlets nowadays, all the news you hear is fucking depressing and annoying. So I focus on the other shit that they don't cover. That's either funny or weird, and you're like, holy shit, like, what? We talk about random bullshit, hence the name of the podcast.
Well, that makes sense. You just fucking,
Yeah. And again, I get those articles from Associated Press. So if you don't like if somebody doesn't like Associated Press, just after we talk about the story, if you're in the audience, go look it up on Fox, whatever. If they don't have an article for it, well, I guess they didn't deem it important enough to cover. And if there is an article there, you can get the story from your preferred news source if you're that loyal to a specific news outlet. But are you ready for our first topic, Mr. First?
When you're ready. Oh, Game Informer. Okay.
Yeah, I just said that. I get all my articles from Game Informer. Yeah.
Well, I got those magazines a lot too, especially when I did the subscription thing through GameStop, and you get the monthly physical mag. Hey, that's not a bad value, guys. You're gonna play some good games. You're gonna play some shit games. A yearly subscription to that's pretty good, and it's worth the magazines.
Yeah, well, I would say it was. Nowadays, you can just go to their website and get articles for free, but...
Well, yeah, that's true, but I really like to read the column. Yeah, it's an old person thing. There's the age gap.
Yeah.
I don't know if you respect columnists, like people who had like a column in a magazine or a newspaper.
I can respect it, and there's still definitely room in today's like society for those magazines and newspapers. It's
almost like it's a very niche journalism job at this point, though, because of the internet.
That's for sure. So, I just personally, with being as poor as I am, I'm personally like, why would I spend the money to subscribe to the magazines that I could put towards food when I could just read the articles online? So.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody right now online is writing those articles so that way they can maybe get a job in, the New York Times as a technology columnist, and once a month they get to write a piece on video games or some shit and put it in the New York Times.
So the first topic is July's takeover. In July there was a big monetary takeover apparently, in the gaming industry. MultiVersus was the best-selling game in the US last month, despite being a free-to-play title, due to its premium Founders Pack. The Founders Pack for MultiVersus came in 3 forms: a $40 edition, a $60 edition, and a $100 premium edition. These packs could be purchased to grant players things like character tokens for instant fighter unlocks, exclusive banners, the typical stuff. It seems these packs sold extremely well in the US and brought in enough money to make MultiVersus the best-selling title in the US in July, according to the latest MPD numbers. Matt Piscatella, the executive director of the MPD Group, which is a video game sales and trends analyst group, released his monthly thread on the video game market for the month prior, this time for July 2022. As a result, we know the top 10 best-selling games in the U.S. last month, digital sales not included, so these are just like, physical copies.
Right.
The first one was MultiVersus, as we covered, and MultiVersus actually beat out Elden Ring, who came in at number 2, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga at 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 at 4, Vanguard at 5. Honestly, I'm surprised Vanguard is even that high. MLB The Show 22 at 6, Mario Kart 8 at 7, Digimon Survive at 8, apparently, Minecraft at 9, and F1 22 at 10. So, MultiVersus, we had a bit of news last week about their season pass, and was it last week or the week before? We had some news about a season pass, but
it's not news. This is not news. This is
not news.
This is slow news. What else came out? Nothing. It's a game that has a huge IP. Warner Brothers.
True, yeah. No, that's huge.
So character potential's huge, but I guarantee you it's buggy as shit. It's not as competitive or balanced as Smash. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played the game.
Neither have I.
Maybe it's that shit. But I bet it's fun. Because, it did sell a bunch of copies and it's a fun game. That's typically how it works. You get a lot of hype because it's fun at the beginning. A lot of people buy it and you have a good time. You take a look at kind of the other stuff on the list. Elden Ring, Lego Star Wars, Blade Chronicles 3, MLB The Show, Call of Duty Vanguard, Digimon Survive, and F1 are all other games that came out this year that are pretty big titles that have sold a lot and are still selling a lot. People are just now getting to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
The two standouts there for me. Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014. Wow. When the fuck did Minecraft come out and it's still 9?
Yeah, it's the two things that surprise me on this list are Elden Ring. I'm surprised that MultiVersus, like you said, has a lot of big Warner Brothers properties, but I'm surprised it overtook Elden Ring. Like, the amount of times I heard people talk about Elden Ring when that game fucking came out, it's still going.
I love Elden Ring. I need to do a playthrough.
It's still going. People, I don't hate the game. It's just it's not a game that I'm going to buy and play because it's a Souls game, and I typically don't like Souls games, but...
Hey.
Like a lot of very popular games, typically the fan base is the thing that makes me tired of it. I've heard so many people talking about Elden Ring constantly.
We could RP it.
We could RP it.
Todd teaches Juliana to play Dark Souls in the apartment. We could RP it, and I could sit there and coach you.
A father-daughter Dark Souls bonding experience.
Hey, I'm just saying. I love Souls games. I'm a masochist. So if it's hard. It's one man versus an army. It's me waking up by myself versus Red Gang. I'm down.
It's me waking up by myself versus Red Gang. This man said. Oh my god.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. And the second thing that I'm surprised about is Vanguard, as in, I'm surprised it's in the top 10 at all. That game is dog shit.
Is it? Well, what's the campaign like? I only buy historical Call of Duties for campaign. None of the multiplayer's been good since World at War.
I've only watched like 1 or 2 reviews of the campaign, and pretty much every single one that I watched, I think I watched 3 reviews of the campaign, and all 3 of them, they were like... 2 of them were like, this is like your standard Call of Duty campaign experience, but when compared to like even the one before this, Cold War, it's dog. And then the one was like, yeah, it's your typical COD experience. If you liked the other ones, you'll enjoy this one. So in other words, it sounds like it's like mid to like worse than your typical COD campaign.
Okay, so I'll buy it when it goes on sale.
Because Cold War's campaign was good, in my opinion. I enjoyed Cold War's campaign because it actually had... Now, granted, you find out that it really doesn't change much, but there are a few branching like storylines, and like there's cool like math puzzle mini games to solve. Like you actually have to like do like some simple level like cipher cracking to actually like get one of the side quests done in Cold War. Like it was fun.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. See, any of those, I'm fine with. Now, games that I would buy Call of Duty for multiplayer would be like the Modern Warfare franchise, or if they, I'm sorry, World War was the last good. Black Ops is okay too. So I've never played 3, which is the one you guys play all the time, but I've played 4, 1, 2, and the most recent one.
I'm about to say some fucking sacrilege. I'm sorry. When you compare Black Ops 1's campaign to Black Ops 2's campaign, Black Ops 1's campaign was good. It had a lot of cool visuals and the story was great.
Yeah.
But no COD campaign in my mind, in terms of scale and like the way it played, compares to Black Ops 2. Because Black Ops 2 was the first campaign to do it, and the only campaign to do it successfully since, to have actual like consequences to actions and branching storylines. Like you get completely separate ending cutscenes depending on how you play through the game. Like there's key events in like every other mission that you have to either avoid or complete to get a better ending at the end, and not all of them were obvious. I must have played through the campaign like 20 times before I was like, damn, I'm still not getting the best ending. Let me look this up on YouTube. And I watched a YouTube playthrough, and there was like 2 or 3 side activities I didn't even know you could do because the game didn't really hint at it. It was just like, you could do this if you were keen enough to do it or to realize it. Okay. So that was pretty cool, yeah. But
all right, so that's all. I'm gonna let you talk about Call of Duty for the rest of the show.
yeah. I being a big COD nerd, I need to cut myself off before.
That's it.
Before. Yep.
If you say COD, you better be talking about the sweet Atlantic fish.
So on to our second topic. I promise this is the last time I'm going to talk about this, because I don't give a shit about the game, and I know that a lot of people in the audience probably don't give a shit about the game, but there's some that may watch this, the oddity, who decides to come in and does give a shit about Fortnite. So I will conclude, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's a follow-up from last week's topic. As expected, the Dragon Ball Adventure Creative Island is now live in Fortnite, and you can glide your way onto it right now. Once there, players can explore iconic Dragon Ball locations like Kami's Place, Goku's House, and the Room of Spirit and Time. Plus, players can duke it out in the PvP battle arena Tenkaichi Budokai. So, there you go. Which that is just an inverse of Budokai Tenkaichi, which is like the Dragon Ball fighting games for like the PS2. So, there you go. If you heard the news about Fortnite last week and you were hyped about it, there you go. It's officially a thing.
What does Tenkaichi Budokai mean to you?
I don't fucking know. I just know that.
So some people it means World Martial Arts Tournaments. Other people it means strongest under the heavens. Yeah, baby.
I just know that Budokai Tenkaichi was like the old like PS2 DBZ fighting games.
Well, yeah, there's PS2. I think it made it into the PS3 areas. I had those. Those were great. They were side fighters, and then eventually it became 3D. They had a couple of 3D fighters too, and it was really good. And the 3D fighter still goes in the MMO. That's popular, I think, with some people. And then they just released a new side fighter. I haven't played it.
Yeah, didn't they?
I'm a huge fan of the anime and the manga, and I've watched like a lot of it. So for me, this is kind of cool, but I don't like Fortnite.
Yeah. I remember a little while ago they released Kakarot, and I heard that was a pretty good game for DBZ fans, because it was kind of like an RPG of the anime's events with slight changes.
And I've got that, and I've streamed it a few times. It's I got it on Steam a while ago. And it was pretty good, yeah. It was kind of like they took that engine from the MMO and they did like a solo RPG where you could kind of fight through about, just stuff from that. They just took, free range anime stuff, or like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they would have done this? And you'd be like, oh yeah, that'd have been real cool.
Yeah, it reminds me from what I saw on it, it reminded me of the story modes of the Naruto Shippuden games, like the Ninja Storm ones, because they did kind of something
Yeah,
similar where the story
I
modes
think
were like events from the anime.
yeah. So I haven't played those games, but yeah, it's the same Bandai Namco guys.
Hmm.
They do both series. They have the rights to both.
They also CyberConnect 3 also did the Demon Slayer game that came out recently too. So
I haven't played that, but I would love to play it. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so don't shut your mouth on that.
I haven't either. I think I've got up to Mugen Train, and then after that movie I just kind of stopped. No, for no particular reason. I just haven't gotten back to it yet.
I just haven't watched it. I've been, going through a lot of stuff outside of, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
content and stuff, so I just haven't had time.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
I feel that, brother. I feel that.
new Portal, but not Valve.
Yep, that's the next topic. New Portal, but not Valve.
So,
Yeah,
okay, so let me read this. I just want to read it.
yeah, sure, go for it.
The Entropy Center is an upcoming first-person sci-fi puzzle adventure game, first revealed during the Future Games Showcase back in June. Set to hit PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC this year. This game quickly grabbed my attention when I first saw it first saw its revealed trailer. Oh, it features plenty of Portal vibes. I don't care anymore.
Which is always a plus and a unique premise. Turn back time on objects inside an abandoned space station to determine a way to stop Earth and everyone on it from going extinct. If you haven't yet seen their reveal trailer, give that a watch here, which we're not going to watch here because it would take a bajillion years.
It's a fucking hard. Reveal's a hard word.
Reveal, yeah, it is. If you've already seen that, you're probably ready to see more gameplay, and unfortunately, there's plenty to see in this new 5-minute gameplay trailer.
No, it's fortunately. It's fortunately.
Okay, listen, I wasn't the one that quit out after 2 sentences, was I? Shut up.
Look, I don't know how long those 2 sentences were, but I fucking killed that ad read. I just didn't care anymore because I didn't see.
You repeated quickly like 5 times.
Quickly, the Q and the U got me. What do you want me to fucking do about that?
Here's what developer Stubby Games has to say about the game. Players join the game's protagonist, Arya, as she awakens inside the bowels of a colossal space station, the Entropy Center, in near orbit of Earth. 2 immediate problems face her. Earth has been set ablaze from an extinction-level event, and the Entropy Center itself appears to be abandoned and on the brink of imminent collapse. With the aid of Astra, a talking gun capable of moving objects backwards in time, Arya can restore the facility's collapsed bridges, reassemble destroyed pathways, and overcome ingeniously complex puzzles to progress to the core of the Entropy Center in the hope of surviving the seemingly doomed space station and somehow finding a way home. There you go. There's like a short synopsis of the game.
The truth behind the entropy is imminent collapse, and the Earth's demise can be found at the heart of this sprawling facility. But will Arya accept the unfortunate truth that awaits her?
What is that?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dragon, rock the dragon, Dragon Balls. Okay, we're done. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a gameplay trailer. I watched it on like 1.5 times speed. It looks alright. It looks very Portal-esque. Unfortunately, even though it's very Portal-esque, there doesn't seem to be actually any portals. You run around with a gun that essentially lets you, like it says, like, you know, have things go back in time, but in reality, all that ends up looking like is when you're building something in the Lego games where all the pieces just kind of fly up into place, and your character's going, woo, like, you know, building it.
Yeah,
so,
I love that in the Lego games.
Yeah, so it's basically a gun that makes objects do that.
Maybe it might be less cool, but I mean, I love that in the Lego games.
Yeah, so I don't know. There was a lot of like back and forth dialogue between the gun and the main character. It's first person, so like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes with a game like that, it's the storytelling. Have you ever played Alan Wake?
I've not, but I've heard good things about it.
That's how it is. It's kind of low on the combat, you know, the combat system and the combat gameplay and stuff like that. It's very unique. It's different. You know, it's questionable when you look at it like this. But the story is so fucking captivating that you just get through it because you want to.
Yeah. When I was watching the trailer and the chick kept talking to the gun, it gave me in Cyberpunk 2077 there's a pistol called Skippy that that talks. It gave me heavy vibes of that. I'm like, okay, so this is basically an entire game where you're essentially talking to Skippy.
So I didn't get that until like post game, my first playthrough.
Oh yeah,
so
same.
Second playthrough, I was like, rush that gun.
Yeah, I never knew that Skippy existed until after I did the Easter eggs stream.
There was so much stuff about my dude in the first playthrough that it's like I feel like I didn't. You know, I didn't do anything. I didn't go out and explore the city enough at the beginning, and
well, I didn't do that in my first playthrough because I played right after launch. So if I almost got punished when I explored because then I'd like fall through the map and fucking die. So
I haven't played through it since launch. I played through it once with all the bugs, and then I played through it again with all the bugs, and I haven't played it since the bugs have been fixed.
A lot of the bugs have been fixed. There's still plenty, but like it's actually very playable now.
I've never had a clean playthrough, so I might do that again soon, because it's not a very long game. So just, you know.
Yeah, just following the story, it's not a very long game now.
No, but I'll probably do some side shit too, because I mean.
Yeah, I did.
The side quests are fucking hilarious.
I did. I think 2 playthroughs. One was my very first one. Then, like a few years later, I did one where it was just streamed. I didn't upload it to YouTube at all. And then after that second playthrough, I also did a Easter egg stream, or 1 or 2 Easter egg streams, where I basically looked up a big long list of all the Easter eggs in the game that are like worth notable, or that are notable, and I went through and experienced all of them. There's some pretty cool ones. That was when I actually saw Skippy. I didn't see it in either of my playthroughs. It was during the Easter egg thing where I was like, oh, this exists.
Yeah. That game will eventually be really, really good. CD Projekt Red will eventually fix it.
Yeah. You know, and CD Projekt Red does deserve shit in terms of, you know, just contributing to this trend of these developers releasing broken fucking games. But one place where I will defend them is that you have to understand that this is actually like the first time either ever or in a very long time where they made an open world game that actually had like guns and vehicles to drive, because the Witcher games has like none of that.
Well, I'm trying to remember in The Witcher 2 if Geralt had a range, if you could get a crossbow for him or not.
Well, you might have been able to get like a crossbow, but like that's not
no, it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's a different thing. And even those games were really fucking shitty when they first came out. They had bugs too.
Yeah.
So don't give them anything. This is not new for them. People need to realize that this was not new. We knew this was going to happen either way. It was just way worse than we thought it was going to
be. Yeah.
And it's not like they surprised us. It's like delay, still not good. It's gonna be shit, but we're letting it out anyway. Here's your shit. PlayStation's, we'll refund it. Everybody else, enjoy your game.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, that's how it occurred. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? I guarantee you, they still sold a shit ton of copies. The project paid for itself, and they're gonna go on and they're gonna make more money.
And even in its broken state, I genuinely did enjoy the game though. I was I was very frustrated, but the entire time I was like, through all these bugs, I can see a genuinely good game underneath this. I think it's a lot of time.
And I think they're going back to the Witcher series, so they're gonna make money.
Not only are they gonna make money, but it's back to me not caring about CG Projekt Red for a while, because I'm not a huge fan of the Witcher game.
The real question is, do they keep the original voice actors and all that, or do they just fucking get the people from the Netflix series at this point?
I don't know, man. That's definitely a question for the future for sure. But moving on to our fourth topic of today, we get a little bit of insight into cancellation. So back in like 2011-ish, there were rumors and words and, you know, a couple little teases and stuff that Avalanche was working on an Iron Man game, and then it got canceled in 2012. So we have some information about that. A new interview sheds light on Just Cause developer Avalanche Studios' canceled open world Iron Man game rumored to be in the works a decade ago before getting axed in 2012. MinMax's Ben Hansen interviewed Christopher Sundberg, a co-founder of Avalanche who has since left the studio to start a new company, Liquid Sword. During the interview, Hansen asked Sundberg about the fate of the Iron Man project, with Sundberg revealed as being in development for 1.5 to 2 years before being canceled due to what he describes as, quote, company politics. Sundberg reveals that Disney wanted Avalanche to rapidly expand its staff to finish the game under a shortened development timeline. However, he refused, explaining that doing so would have put a massive strain on the studio. Quote, I was a mess by the end, says Sundberg. Shortening development time, increasing budgets, we would have had to hire 70 to 80 people onto the team that I would have had the responsibility to find a new project for. But the development time was shortened down so much. It would have broken the studio completely if we agreed to that. He continues by saying, quote, at the end of a project, when the team is scaling down, that's when you find a new project. With 1 year of development time cut from the original plan, I had 1 year less to find a new project for a big development team, which would have been impossible, and hiring all those developers would have been a nightmare, so it was for the best. There you go. If back in 2011 you were hyped for the fucking open world Iron Man game, it was because Disney said, work faster with more people, and they said, no, that is studio suicide, and Disney didn't like that. So they canceled it.
What do you think about Santa Monica Studios, the guy that made God of War?
I never played God of War, so I don't know.
No, never played that. Oh, you like Call of Duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course, I just trapped you to that. We're not supposed to talk about it. But that's made by more than one studio. It's not just Activision. When you watch the credits for that, you see other studios that worked on the game.
Oh, yeah. But just from what this guy was saying, it sounded like Disney was like, hire more people and get it done like a year early. And they were like, no, we're not going to like kill ourselves by fucking...
But look how the game industry's changed. Now when you look at the credits on a game, it's not just 70 and 80 people underneath just the development section.
True. And you know what? I hate that because now credits are 30 years long and most of them are unskippable.
A lot of these projects are bigger than a movie.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
It is. And it's one of those situations where people don't understand that this guy made a poor business decision. Disney was offering to give him the money to do what people do now. Essentially is what I think. I think he took a bad move. I think if he would have threw all his money into that, made it a badass open world Iron Man game with Disney backing him, who knows?
Well, yeah, I feel like it could have gone that way, or I also see this guy's point in like,
who knows what Just Cause would have came. You know, it would have been like, don't get me wrong, it's okay in its own right, but it's never been like a bestseller or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I like Avalanche. They've made some games that I've spent some time with. Just Cause 3 was one of them, as well as they also made Generation Zero, which I love that game, but I've
never played that.
It's a pretty shallow game. It's literally a game that they made and released just to like as a test for their new game engine they were developing, and they didn't expect people to actually really buy it en masse and start playing it.
Oh, you mean Call of Duty or Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes?
Yeah. It was like a Ground Zeroes situation. Only the difference here is that unlike Ground Zeroes, Gen Zero had nothing to do with like the next Just Cause game or whatever they were working on next. Had nothing to do with it.
Kojima was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend all the fucking money on making the engine, okay, and then we're gonna make a $15 game, all right, and then we're gonna make money from that $15 game to make the actual game that I was supposed to make for the money with the engine.
Okay, that wasn't exactly what happened, but yeah, I see your point.
That sounds like some shit he would do, though. And
yeah,
Sony,
it does.
Now he's with Sony, and Sony's just like, here, blank check, go.
Yeah. With Ground Zeroes, what was happening was they made the new engine, and they built up so much hype for the Phantom Pain that they knew that they couldn't like get the Phantom Pain done in time, so they literally chopped off the prologue of the game and sold it as its own thing, so that way it would keep people content until the actual game was finished. And depending on who you speak to, me being one of those people, Phantom Pain still wasn't completely finished. But they just canceled the rest of it and went go.
No, it wasn't done. Kojima would have went for another 2 or 3 years on it if he was allowed, I feel like.
Well, if he was allowed, yeah, but he wasn't. They were almost done. They had the, what was it, like, Chapter 32 or whatever. If you bought, like, a deluxe pre-order version of the game, you got this little, like, CD that you could watch. And it was, like, a behind-the-scenes of, like, a 30% completed cutscene. And it was all about, like, this mysterious 30-second or whatever it was mission where you go to like this island because Eli stole Sahelanthropus and you have to like do this big boss fight with him, and like it ends with you accidentally shooting a child or something. It was like this big thing at the end, and then but it never happened because they ran out of time. And Kojima was like, "Nah, we're just not gonna put it in."
I just feel like I know it wasn't done because there was something they never showed the entire time.
What was that?
David. So
yeah, but even I agree it would be awesome if he was there, but even still, they didn't show him even in the cut content, which kind of sucked. But
that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like he had other ideas for like because he was trying to tie it up because I think he knew he was done with Konami. I think he knew he was going on a sabbatical after this game. And he was done after that, and he had Death Stranding. He was going to work on that, or he was going to go back and he was going to do Silent Hill. And now we don't know if either one of those things, or I guess Death Stranding 2 is going to be a thing. We know
Silent Hill is not going to be a thing because I think Konami have the rights to that. Once he left, it got canceled.
I really wish Sony would just fucking buy Konami at this point.
Well, because Konami, they're not making games anymore. They don't give a shit. As soon as Kojima left, they're like, well, there goes our cash cow for video games, so we're only gonna do pachinko machines now. And that's all they've been doing ever since.
Hey, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remastered pachinko machine, to beat that in Japan in a gambling hall, chain smoking and drinking rice wine is probably that's on my bucket list, Verve.
I understand that, but imagine if instead of just putting those resources into a pachinko machine, they actually just remastered the fucking game.
They did. It's on a pachinko.
But what I'm saying is they only did the cutscenes. Imagine if they did the rest of it and then released it as like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remastered. Dude, they're literally printing money at that point.
So some of the games actually depends on the pachinko machine, but some of the games actually play like with simulated AI depending on how well you're doing. Like how many balls you're scoring and stuff, and how many points you're getting.
Well, from what I saw,
a lot of the fighters and stuff. I don't know about this one.
Well, from what I saw, it was just mainly the cutscenes, and then they have like these little mini games to simulate like
what else is going on. When you're playing. It's all about putting the balls in to try to win.
It's all about putting in your balls.
And you may win, and you get lucky. It's like a slot machine still. So if you beat the game on like $100 or whatever, and you walk over to the little cabinet with all your little balls and all your buckets, and you give them to the guy, and he gives you a receipt. And then you take that receipt to a shop across the street, not in the same building, and you can trade it for some bars of gold or some bottles of liquor or whatever you want, or sometimes cash, because they'll say the receipt's worth money because they have the gold, and they're like, oh, we'll buy it because it's the same price as this gold.
Yeah, I heard about that on Trash Taste when they were talking about gambling, where like Japan has some very strict laws against gambling, but like you can easily get around it with a few creative loopholes of just going to a different building and trading it in.
Japan has a couple of things like that where they're like, this shouldn't be legal, but let's skate around the law. And they do that. They have so plans for prostitution, and they have pachinko parlors for gambling and other things as well. But it's one of those things where it's like, culturally, let's just skirt around these things. And we do that too here in America, like in Vegas, where like brothels are legal and gambling's everywhere. And it's like, fucking hell, go crazy. So it's like, oh, you can only do that in certain places here. Well, you can only do it in certain places there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Moving on to our next topic, Fallout in Hollywood. So, Kilter Films, Bethesda Game Studios, and Amazon Studios announced in 2020 that a Fallout television series is on the way, and not much has been revealed about it since then, other than a report from 2021 that detailed the show as a, quote, gonzo, crazy, funny adventure. However, images from the production set have begun to leak online, as reported by Eurogamer, and the show looks true and accurate to the famed video game series. Now, in this article, they had 3 tweets. One was of some guy where he had 4 pictures of, like, some crew on set. Those got copyright takedowns on Twitter. There are other 2, however, that were either in direct replies to that tweet or other tweets that were within that space that, if seen and they didn't, and Bethesda and Kilter Films and all that didn't like it, they could have taken down, but these 2 they did not. So, I figure that since they have not been taken down, I would show them on stream. So, let's hope that this doesn't get me in trouble, but I want people to be able to see this. So here we have the first picture of a person whose face is evidently blacked out. Good. I don't want to know who this person is, to be fair. But the thing that we're looking at here is the vault suit. So this is... They're dumpy. Yeah. So this is a vault suit in the show, which... So far from what I can see from this angle without looking dead on at it, it looks pretty fucking good. It definitely still is like a Fallout Vault suit. Like, a lot of the rivets on the sides remind me of the ones that are modeled in Fallout 4, so... It's a good
interesting.
job.
It's interesting to see Microsoft make something off of a show that Amazon's paying for.
True. True.
That's what I'm saying. That's weird in the situation to me.
Yeah, but the Vault suit looks pretty good, and then the next picture we have is just of some wheelbarrows that say Vault Tech on them, but, you know, it's nice to have the Vault Tech logo. I hope that they, you know, keep the continuity of everything that's kind of, like, machined, or, like, these wheelbarrows being Vault Tech and having, like, you know, I think, don't quote me on it, I think I can see a Vault Tech logo there, too, so the branding is definitely on there, for sure. So I'm enjoying what I'm seeing here, for sure. So, as
that wheelbarrow? What's that wheelbarrow doing for you? You want to put, like...
It's not doing anything for me. I'm just saying it's nice to see the detail. Calm down.
What detail?
The detail that they actually went through the fucking trouble of painting it blue and putting the Vault Tech logo on it.
They took a blue wheelbarrow and put a sticker on it.
Yeah.
We could put you could take a blue wheelbarrow and put a sticker on it right now.
You know how many TV shows and shit wouldn't go through that effort, though? They would just be like, oh, it's a blue wheelbarrow, and since it's blue, it's obviously Vault Tech. They actually put forth the effort to make a sticker and put it on. So, you know what? I'm happy with that.
I just had a prop guy one day. I'd have been like, look, I got 10,000 of these stickers, man. You better find somewhere to put them that makes sense.
You better find somewhere to put them that makes sense.
I want to see this shit in every scene. I want to see this shit.
I mean, dude, honestly, if I were working on a Fallout TV show, why not? Vault Boy and Vault Tech logos everywhere. Like make sure that you know that you are allowed to do this.
you gotta have a bobblehead in every scene.
Oh, dude, I hope they have, like, the bobbleheads. Oh my god, that'd be so good.
Well, we'll see how accurate it is. Like, if they're not running Power Fist with, you know, just rocking, you know, Med-X and Psycho all the time, running just drugs melee, then it's not that accurate to, like...
It's not that accurate to how you play.
It's not accurate to Fallout to me. Like, what are you gonna do? It's like, I'm gonna go punch this guy with my mechanical power fist.
Yeah.
With my 100 strength, 100 intelligence, and that's it.
You know what? You know what, to me, is personally gonna be, like, the biggest tell?
What?
Is how well or how bad they nail power armor.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. I think it'll be good.
And which power armor are they going for? Are they going for like the 3 New Vegas power armor, or are they going for 4 power armor where it's like an actual exosuit type?
It'll depend on where it kind of like takes place and what time. I guess 4 being the earliest, I guess, of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And but you see, even in 4, like how things were still already at that point. All the technology already existed. It's all pre going in.
Yeah.
All of the post going in technology, most of it's being created by like, you know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna really quickly
crazy.
read this third tweet from this guy's tweets, because you know, people in the podcast, you can't see it, but first you can see how, like, you know, this shit got legitimately. It says this image has been removed in response to a report from the copyright holder. So this guy got fucking copyright strike like a motherfucker. But this one guy does say, I can't find it, but there was an image passed around of doctors in lab coats and a nearby soldier with a laser pistol. Some people speculate that this is Vault Tech. I think it's pre-war Mariposa, or less likely West Tech. We'll see. Will we see the creation of the Brotherhood of Steel? Maybe. I mean, I don't fucking know. Creation of the Brotherhood of Steel would be kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so that's somebody who has like some pre-Fallout knowledge. He knows lore from like the old games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 3 was the first one I ever played. I never played the point and click until I went back, you know, later, where it's not really, it's an RTS.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's built. Yeah.
As you can see, the vault looks pretty spot on. This article says that, but they're referring to the pictures that were taken down for copyright. So unfortunately, I can't, at least formulate my own personal opinion about it looking spot on. But even the vault suits look amazing. Although the person who snapped that image mentioned they are a little different from what we're used to in the games. Nonetheless, my excitement for this series has grown considerably since seeing these images. Hopefully, the same attention to detail has been put into the writing, and there is no release date for this series yet. So. Yeah.
They could just be shooting a pilot as like a proof of concept or something, and it may not even.
Yeah,
get made.
that's true too, for sure. Yeah. But moving on to the 6th topic, to think this started it all, sorta. So we're moving on from the gaming news, but I'm gonna kind of segue from the gaming news into the world news with an electronics news kind of thing. So in Boston, an authenticated Apple I computer prototype from the mid-1970s has sold at auction for nearly $700K. The prototype was used by Apple co-founder Steve Jobs in 1976 to demonstrate the Apple I to Paul Terrell, owner of the Byte Shop in Mountain View, California, one of the first personal computer stores in the world. Boston-based RR Auction said in a statement. A Bay Area collector who wishes to remain anonymous made the winning $677,196 bid on Thursday, the auctioneer said. Quote, there is no Apple I without this board. It's the holy grail of Steve Jobs and Apple memorabilia, said Bobby Livingston, RR's executive vice president. And here is a picture of this fucking motherboard. This thing, I mean, rightfully so, looks fucking ancient. Look at this guy.
So that's an Apple One. So the big thing
an Apple One prototype.
Okay, yeah. So the reason that's worth so much money has nothing to do with, I mean, something to do with Steve Jobs. He helped sell it. Steve Wozniak hand wired that board. This was not made by a machine. This was made by a man in a garage with a soldering iron. You know, he got a printed piece of PCB. He bought the parts or made them himself if he had to. And he put them together in this, he put together this circuit. And then he programmed routines into it. He developed BASIC, which became graphical BASIC, which gave birth to video games. You know, like it's pretty crazy the shit that was going on right here from this.
Yeah, which is nuts. That's why I said the thing that started it all, sorta, as like the topic title, because I say sorta because this specific thing wasn't the thing that started like video games, but it was definitely like a pivotal.
It started PC gaming.
Yeah, it was definitely very pivotal in like where we are today, for sure, like without a doubt.
I don't think you got any of the other. I don't think you got the Atari. I don't think you got any of these other more advanced computer systems that came to home outside of arcade machines without this.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Yeah, it definitely it's crazy to see the history, like, and the impact of this fucking thing that looks broken. I don't think it's actually broken, but I think this is like maybe like some jagged cuts that they may have made to fit it into a case or something. I don't know, but it looks broken to me. But I don't know how accurate that is. Maybe this is just the jagged, like, weird cuts they had to do to get it to, like, fit into, like, the rest of, like, the computer case or something when they showed it off.
I don't know. So there's two answers here. Is it broken? Or is it a broken PCB? Or because I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is it a broken PCB, or is this just what he was working on? He had a broken PCB and he just built the circuit on it because he didn't need the extra space.
That's true too. Yeah.
That's happened. You can have a broken piece of a PCB, and if you're not using that circuit, it'd still work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
But hey, it's interesting. It's got character and history here with this fucking line.
Well, it looks like if you look closer, I don't know if you can really chat. You can't see this at all, can you?
I can maybe blow it up once we go to the actual article. Here we go.
So if you look in there, so everywhere that you see a dot is where he's pinned in somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then each one of these components is some different.
See, because, like, up here, right, you see, like, this, and it looks broken to me. But then you look here, and you see that, like, this almost looks like it was on purpose. Where this shit ends, and there's, like, little, like, outcroppings where it looks like it was on purpose. So it's like...
Hey, so there you go. If you zoom in right there at the right, there you go. You can see it so it's got its confirmation right there.
Yep, hand soldered by Steve Wozniak in 1976.
So this is an Apple Computer A. This is not an Apple One.
Well, I mean, I was just reading off of what the article said, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is an Apple Computer A. This is not a One. The One was so this is a production prototype. So this isn't even like a really rare one. This is like the next best thing.
I would imagine that the really, really rare ones probably would go in the millions.
Well, there would only be the one, right?
That's what I mean. Like, that would probably be like 1 million at least, not 700K, if it were actually like the proper like Apple One prototype. You know,
there is a picture of it. There is allegedly. So this is is this really actually it?
I don't know.
So that's okay. So
I don't know. That's all the intel I got on it, brother. But it's.
Oh yeah, I got it for you. I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'll hide our Discord names here for a minute, so that when you send this to me, I'm not like showing a bunch of other random shit.
Like the cat porn.
No, there's no cat porn. There's no cat porn. Shut up. You're gonna start something that you have no idea the ramifications of what you're gonna start.
What? The cat porn?
God. You're gonna open it? There we go. Okay, so you're saying that...
That's it. That was that thing down there in the fucking wood. That's it. That's the first one.
Okay.
That's it. He built that shit in his garage. That's it. That's the first one.
Damn. Look, he's got the fucking keyboard.
Yeah.
That is missing... It's crazy how similar this is to, like, our keyboards. Like, this legitimately looks like my keyboard I'm looking at, except it doesn't have a numpad and it's missing the Windows key.
Because it's, you know.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Windows was really a thing yet.
It's kind of crazy. Well, you know, typewriters were, though.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that they modeled the keyboard just off of the typewriter stuff. Or the typewriter keyboards they had.
It's close. It's called ASCII.
ASCII. Well, yeah, I've
Well,
heard.
no, that's not it. It's QWERTY. QWERTY. ASCII's
Yeah.
the fucking other fucking stupid language that I know. QWERTY. QWRTY. That's what the whole. It's the
Yeah,
top.
because it's the first
it's
row.
it's the first 6 letters at the top left row.
But our next topic. Now this one is a perfect example of shit that I just have on here because it's funny. There was a monkey and he needed help. In San Luis Obispo? I don't know, California. What you naming shit for like that? Cops usually have a prime suspect. In this case, it's a primate suspect. The San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office believes it was a little capuchin monkey that called 911 from a zoo last Saturday night. The call disconnected and dispatchers tried to call and text back, but there was no response. So deputies were sent to investigate, the office said in a social media post. The address turned out to be the Zoo to You near Paso Robles. But the deputies found that no one there made the call. They finally deducted that a capuchin monkey named Route had apparently picked up the zoo's cell phone, which was in a golf cart used to move about the property. Quote, "We're told capuchin monkeys are very inquisitive and will grab anything and just start pushing buttons," the office's post said. There you go. A monkey just got a hold of a fucking smartphone and just started tapping around on the screen and managed to call 911.
Bullshit. Somebody went missing at that golf course. Bullshit.
That golf cart, you mean? Not the golf course,
No,
but
golf course. So
golf course.
Someone at that zoo went fucking missing.
From that golf cart, and they blamed it on the monkey.
The monkey.
Well,
it had to be the monkey, right?
Well, cause
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I at first also called bullshit, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know how many smartphones have like an emergency 911 call button on the home screen without having to unlock it?
Oh, yeah,
so the monkey, the monkey probably was just fucking around with the phone and hit the button.
The monkey just gripped it and it did the emergency thing, and the cops just responded to it.
Well, I was gonna say it's a monkey, so I mean, he probably grabbed it, accidentally hit the side button, it lit up, he went ooh, and just started like hitting it. And then, like, because he maybe saw, like, some humans doing it or something. So he, like, starts, like, hitting the fucking thing, and he might have hit the button in, like, the bottom right or bottom left that's, like, an emergency services call and fucking called the cops.
Maybe.
Or somebody actually did get kidnapped, and they never heard anything and blamed it on the monkeys. I don't know. What do you think first? Do you think that somebody actually was in trouble, or do you think the monkey just kind of tapped on the phone? Think the monkey just grabbed the phone and was like, you know?
I played the fifth.
I played the fifth. Okay. Our 8th topic for today is going to be about a man who has turned into an air traffic magnet. Instead of air traffic control, nope, it's air traffic maggot. Magnet. Jesus, I can't speak. I'm still thinking about a monkey like hitting a cell phone. So in Augusta, Maine, a metal object believed to have fallen from a transatlantic jet came crashing down outside the Maine State House, landing in it with a loud bang just feet from a Capitol Police worker, officials said Monday. The Federal Aviation Administration was alerted Friday and returned to the State House on Monday as it investigated the object, Capitol Police Chief Matthew Clancy said. The metal hit with a loud bang on a slab of granite lining a cobblestone walkway about 6 to 8 feet, or 1.8 to 2.4 meters, for all of you who use the metric system, from a security screener, and came close to hitting the building itself, he said. It definitely shocked him, the chief said. He was walking back to the building and got quite a wake-up call. No one was hurt. The FAA believes the metal sleeve weighing 6 to 7 pounds came from a wing flap of a large passenger jet, he said. Airlines were...
About 3 kilos.
There you go. Look at that. First on it with the fucking conversion thing. Airlines were notified, and all planes landed safely that day, Clancy said. The area where the plane part crashed into the ground is usually busy when the Maine legislature is in session, and it's routinely used for rallies, protests, and press conferences, he said. So there you go. That is our that is all of our topics done. What do you think about that first? Would you consider yourself lucky or unlucky if you managed to go out by having a 6 to 7 pound metal slab land on your head from an airplane that's like hundreds of feet above you?
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
It's a 6 to 7 so it's 3 kilos. So you're talking about something the size of, that weighs as much as a newborn baby fucking you up.
Yeah, and I mean,
How fast?
so
How
if it
fast
was
this thing going?
I don't know. I'm assuming it reached terminal velocity. Whatever terminal
talking-
velocity for a
okay.
6 to 7 pound metal thing can reach.
So you're talking about something the size of a newborn baby going so fast.
Well, I'm sure it was
Really hit
bigger
you.
than a newborn baby. It just it came from a wing flap. I would assume it doesn't say in the article, but I would
sleeve from a wing flap.
it's as heavy as a newborn, but I'm assuming it's quite large.
Can we Google passenger jet wing sleeve?
Yeah, we'll do that. Wing sleeve. Well, these aren't very. What the fuck is this? We're getting sidetracked. Where I don't really know.
I don't know. Look at nothing. I'm looking at.
Like maybe
Okay,
like a chunk from this, maybe.
Okay. Hit back.
Uh-huh.
Let's get back out of images and let's go back to what we got in the just searches.
Okay.
Now add replacement part.
Wing sleeve replacement part.
Yes.
And
hit
then
in
images.
Had to be one of those. It
Yeah.
had to be one of those flaps, right?
Yeah, it would have to be something like one of these panels or something. So yeah.
Like it's either one of those flaps or one of these long panels that are in the back weigh 6 or 7 pounds because they can't weigh that much planes.
Yeah. So it's not like the
what-
size of a newborn baby, but it's as heavy as a newborn baby. It's like it's like a big metal slab falling out of the sky hitting terminal velocity.
So we got smacked by a 6 or 7 pound piece, or what if it was sideways?
That's what I'm. So that's what what I was gonna point out. I was like, would that even kill you? Like, if it was sideways, yes, because it could like actually probably split your head. But if it just like,
no.
but if it just landed like flat on like your shoulder, like it wouldn't necessarily kill you, would it? It would definitely do some fucking damage, but.
Sorry, we're talking about a piece of pure aluminum alloy. Well, probably not pure aluminum. Probably, air aluminum. Pretty tough aluminum that weighs 7 pounds. So a pretty hefty piece of sheet metal coming at you at terminal velocity.
So is that enough?
Yeah.
Is that enough that even if the flat side like hit you like in the shoulder, your head's still gonna pop like a watermelon? Or is it like? I'm not talking about on end, like at the edge. I'm talking about like if it somehow managed to like flutter around like a leaf, right? And at like the point where it hit you, it was just on the broad side instead of like one of the edges. Would that just like knock you out and give you like a serious concussion, or could it actually kill you?
All right, let's do the math.
Make the math quick. We're at 58 minutes. Make the math quick.
All right, so let's see. So it's 6 to 7 pounds of aluminum. All right, let's see. Actually, let me just get one of these 7-pound aluminum. Wing flap placement. They're gonna think I'm the guy with the plane.
They're gonna think you're the guy with the plane. Imagine like they just like look up like, it seems like this pilot knew his wing flap came off and he moved to a new state to avoid any legal action for damaging a government building. You got the wrong guy. It wasn't me. Well, I'm going to keep the show running until he manages to finish his calculations. So we're not ending quite yet. But I figured I'd use this time while he's figuring it out to get the outro out of the way, and then we'll just hang out until he figures it out. So that was all of our topics, and this has been the Bullshit Podcast for August 22nd, 2022. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and thank you first for being a guest. We'll wait to see your calculations, but thank you for being a guest. And after he tells us what he has come up with, we're going to move on to the after show where we'll talk about whatever topics we want to, and we'll actually be able to talk with chat. If you are watching this on the Bullshit YouTube channel and you want to be part of the after show and maybe make it into an after show highlight, make sure you come to twitch.tv/VerveXP for the podcast. We try to do it every Monday. First is twitch.tv/first one to die, as you can see it in the top left corner. It's the same as his Discord name there. Number 1 ST, number 1 to die. So go check him out on Twitch there. He streams a lot of Fishing Planet and GTA RP. I can speak that from experience. So do we have the calculations, Captain?
All right. So that's like we're looking at roughly 107.5 moles of aluminum moving at terminal velocity. We're just gonna say, regardless of which direction that hits you from, we're just moving at the terminal velocity for its weight in our atmosphere. And I'm figuring out that speed right now.
I never thought that this show would be as educational as it is in this episode, but here we are. We're getting some education done here.
Oh yeah.
So you're dead. you're dead for sure.
It's 134 kilometers an hour.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're dead.
So it's like somebody threw a baby at you at 134 miles an hour.
Nah, you're dead for sure. Even if it is the broadside, that's like denting your fucking head. Like that's obliterating the top half of your head if it hits you in the head for sure. Splitting open your fucking skull like a watermelon for sure.
Well, let's talk about this.
We get in the after show. I have to end it. We're at an hour. We're at an hour and 2 minutes.
Thoughts on this in the after show.
So there you go. Look for the after show highlights next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast, and I'll see you in the next one.